And welcome inside Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports. We're live, Matt side, at Sussex Central High School for the 2024 Henlopen Conference Championship Finals here in the sport of wrestling, the oldest and greatest sport. With me tonight, Dan Rigby, the former Milford and Caesar Rodney coach, Caesar Rodney wrestler. Dan, this is like the pinnacle of the Henlopen Conference to be at this moment, this match tonight.
Yeah, Benny, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited because this is what these athletes have worked all season for. Some of them, a lifetime of hard work is going to be realized or not realized here in the next couple hours. So really exciting for these athletes, these families who have put in a lot of time and energy, and I'm excited to be along for the ride.
Folks, before we get started, we are working in conjunction with the Sussex Central Athletics live stream crew. Jeff Stevenson producing today's event. I want to thank Marvin Dooley, Athletic Director at Woodbridge. He is the tournament director for the event, and also Eric McGuire, Athletic Director here at Sussex Central. Big crowd here tonight, Dan. It's been a while since we filled bleachers like this for the conference tournament.
Yeah, Benny, you know, I've been able to go to a couple matches this year, and the crowds have all been great. But I'll tell you, this gym in particular seems to always attract a really nice, rowdy crowd, exciting crowd. And we're at the home of the 2024 Delaware State Champion Sussex Central wrestling team, so it makes sense that we would have a full house today.
Team standings going into the final round. Sussex Central, they have sealed the deal with 226.5 points. Smyrna second with 184. Cape Henlopen third with 174. Milford fourth with 133.5. And Caesar Rodney fifth with 132 points. So here come we're going to shut our mics down. Here come your conference finalists for 2024.
Tonight's contest will begin at 106 pounds. From Cape Henlopen, Austin Guerreri. From Caesar Rodney, Ben Donato. At 113, from Cape Henlopen, Daniel Baker. And from Smyrna, Ian Alfred. At 120 pounds from Sussex Central, Malachi Stratton. From Sussex Tech, Anthony Andrews. At 126, from Caesar Rodney, Trevor Coates. His opponent from Sussex Central, Chase Morgan. At 133 pounds from Sussex Central, Evan Coldry. From Lowell, Connor Smith. At 138, from Sussex Central, Talon Savage. From Lake Forest, Jerusalem Howard. At 144, from Sussex Tech, Dustin Elliott. From Kentucky, Nick Whitlow. At 150 pounds, from Laurel, Stanley Peavy. From Lake Forest, Case Dempsey. At 157, from Lake Forest, Nerdy Ahmad Stacks. His opponent from Laurel, Xavier. At 165, from Smyrna, Jesse Dixon. His opponent from Woodbridge, Quincy Whisper. At 175, from Indian River, Javion Chandler. His opponent from Sussex Central, Gabe at 190, from Milford, Jordan Curry. From Smyrna, TJ Grantowski. At 215, from Cape Henlopen, Patrick Donahue. And at heavyweight, from Laurel, Joseph Boehner. And his opponent, from Smyrna, Gigi Lee.
So interesting matchups here and a couple of rematches from last year, especially at heavyweight with Yulee and Boehner, which went into overtime. We're going to see the match number 4 between Stanley Pete and Case Dempsey. Right now, Pete leading that series 2-1. A lot of things out here tonight, Dan, that, you know, fans just don't know inside that circle unless you've been there in a conference final.
I mean, the pressure builds on these athletes. You know, some of these athletes have never been in the finals before. And, you know, a lot of times if you have two equally, you know, competitive athletes, it's who can handle this spotlight, who can handle this pressure. And at the end of the day, this is really preparing for next weekend at Cape Henlopen in the state championship.
There we go, starting off at 106 pounds, the number 1 seed from Cape Henlopen, Austin Guerri. He is 36-7. He's a freshman, ranked number 1 in the state. And his opponent from Cesar Rodney, Ben Donato, 30-13, a sophomore. Donato got here 3 times a charm. He's lost to Austin Decker twice this season. Wins 10-8 in overtime in today's semifinal. Donato in the 2-piece blue and gold from Cesar Rodney. He gets the first takedown on Guerri. Guerri in the black for Cape Henlopen.
Yeah, watching Donato a couple times this year, Benny, he's really good on that short drag. Definitely a height disadvantage for him. Guerri's a lot taller and longer, so he's got to be quick on those underhooks and those short drags in order to win here in this position. Another prime position here. He's got to get those arms out and not be elbow deep. Guerri's doing a nice job of following up that shot.
2-1 lead for Ben Donato here, first period. Approaching a minute to go in the first. Staying short armed there in that front headlock position. Guerri drives to the edge. They go out of bounds. 2-1 with a minute to go in the first period. First match of the night.
For a lot of these athletes, Benny, once that whistle blows, the nerves go away. That's just what they're programmed to do. Getting through this first period is really, really important, and not digging yourself in a hole. But those nerves go away pretty quickly once you step on that mat and that whistle blows.
J.R. Powell on the call. He's actually from Maryland referee. Comes over. He's doing states next weekend too.
I've been really impressed with Austin Guerri this year. He's, he's come up through the youth wrestling and the middle school ranks, but knocked off a couple big name people this year, and he just keeps plugging along. A nice takedown there.
Gets the takedown, goes up 3-2.
Donato's got to really make sure he gets off bottom here quickly, seals off, or he's going to be right for some tilting here from Guerri.
33 seconds to go here on the restart. Donato comes to his feet. Guerri does have the cross wrist as he returns him to the mat. Again, I want to thank Sussex Central live stream team. They do all their matches during the year, and they're producing and running the whole show. We just get to sit and talk tonight.
Yeah, that's the easy part, the fun part.
Yeah, absolutely. 9 seconds on the restart. 3-2 lead for Guerri.
Benny, we're going to talk about this a lot tonight. If I'm Guerri, I really want to make sure I hold him down here and don't give up points late in the period. In these tight matches, a lot of times that could be the difference maker. If I'm Donato, I think I'll try to get one before the whistle at the end of the period.
Comes to his feet, breaks the cross wrist, and does get the escape, makes it 3-3. And that's the end of the first period.
So now we're basically a 2-period match. We're tied up. And those guys, great wrestling in that first period.
Cape Henlopen coached by Chris Mattioni and Cesar Rodney coached by Trey Mitchell. Full disclosure, we are related.
And he had a great semifinal win at the state duels over Louisiana, making an all Henlopen Conference state final in Division I. Didn't quite have enough power to get that.
And Gary gets the escape, goes up 4-3. Donato also good on those low singles, but Gary going down to his 4-point stance and taking that away.
Both of them wrestling well with 4-point stance. They don't leave their legs.
Should Gary win, he'll probably be the #1 seed at the state tournament. Should Donato win, it could be all jumbled up next weekend.
Yeah, not to get too complicated here, but for those viewers at home, it's really tomorrow morning you'll know your state bracket for the most part. Top 4 from each division into the state tournament, and then it's an at-large bid after that. Gary would certainly be the 1 seed if he wins here, and then if he doesn't pull it out, it is going to be a little crazy.
And on the leg of Donato and gets the takedown, goes up 6-3. 6-3 here with a minute to go in the second period. First match of the night, 106 pounds. Gary trying to get to that cross wrist. Donna's doing a good job of hand fighting on bottom.
See the height difference here. Sometimes those long arms get around you and sink in that tight waist a little deeper and lower in there.
35 to go here in the second period. And Donato builds his base.
The cool part is a lot of these wrestlers have seen each other multiple times during the year.
This is their second match of the season.
They're familiar with each other. I know several of our matchups have wrestled before, and like you said earlier, a few of them have been 3 or 4 times already this year. So pretty familiar with most of these opponents.
3, 2, 1, and the second period is over. And it'll be Donato's choice. And Donato's going to go down. 2 minutes on the clock, 6-3 lead for Gary here at 106 pounds.
Yeah, this is a tough call. I think it's the right call to go down. It's got to get 1 and then get 2 in order to tie the match.
That's how he had to do it in the semis. He was down 2, or down 1, got the 1, and then took it in overtime and got the takedown in overtime.
Time is not your friend here.
Nope.
Austin doesn't have the stall calls against him.
Out of bounds, 143 on the restart. Yeah, there's not.
On the floor.
Yeah, there's not a seat to be found. Donato circles to his feet, puts on the hand fight. Gary brings him right back to the mat. And we're going to get a potentially dangerous.
Right over the top of that bar.
Yep. Minute 27 on the restart. I believe this was a major decision during the season for Gary.
Yeah, I've just, again, been really impressed with his wrestling all year. Good. Seen him through the ranks coming up. Wrestling, but I was very impressed with his wrestling all year long. Very composed. The scene never too big for him. Looking for back points here. We got a 1 count. Just a 1 count.
Just gets a 1 count out of the tilt. We're under a minute to go here in the third period. No change since the second period. 6-3 lead for Gary. And just like you said, Dan, just using that length and pressure, and Gary just can't get back to his hands and knees.
Yeah, Austin, you're late in the match, you're tired, your body's tired. Make them carry that weight. There's another stall call. Make them carry that weight and be active, and that's what Austin's doing a great job of. Smart third period by them.
7-3 lead for Gary. 29 to go.
Run that third rough for red. I mean on red.
So we're going to get a hard crossface there by Gary. It's going to be unnecessary roughness. Point to Donato, 7-4 with 17 seconds.
You know what? Just watching that young man, the freshman, deal with a little bit of adversity there, quickly refocused himself, got focused, and said, hey, let's go. I got 17 seconds to win a conference title, and he did that. That's maturity.
And 5 seconds to go. And Austin Gary is a conference champ at 106 pounds.
And still had the power and the energy to spring up to his feet. What a great match. That is a great match by Austin Guerrero, and I look forward to watching him next weekend in his home gym at Cape Henlopen.
That's correct. So that's going to move us to 113, where there is not going to be a match, as Cale Baker from Cape Henlopen has medically forfeited. So Ian Alfrey of Smyrna will be your conference champion at 113 pounds. So we move to 120, where we're going to see Malachi Stratton, two-time state champ from Sussex Central. He got here by a pin. He's 44-7. He's a junior. He's up against Anthony Andrews, the number 2 seed. He had a 4-1 decision over Cole Moffitt of Cesar Rodney. He's 32-8, and he's a sophomore. And these two, I think this is meeting number 4 between them.
Well, it's probably meeting number 4 in a real match setting this year, but it's probably meeting number 104 in youth wrestling practice rooms, as both of these guys have come up through your program.
That's right, came out of the Henlopen Hammers.
And, so they're quite familiar with one another.
And a 2-time Henlopen Conference placer from Sussex Tech, Anthony Andrews.
Anthony Andrews will be in the black and white singlet. Malachi Stratton in the blue and gold of Sussex Central. And we're underway. Paul Hertz on the call.
Yeah, Paul is a veteran of the game. He does a lot of the biggest tournaments in the country, including Ironman, and he's very consistent. Very good match.
Stratton, he's the younger brother of a 2-time state champ Rashad Stratton, now coaching in Indian River. He's in on that left leg right away.
You know, Malachi always just seems to wrestle up in the big moments.
Right.
Oh,
it goes
cradle
for Funk,
there.
and he's got the cradle. 2 points for Malachi Stratton.
And he's looking for near fall.
And one escape for Andrews, 2-1. Early here in the first period, 120.
Anthony was really lucky to come out of that with just a
right.
He's in the near side cradle early in the first, and well done by him.
This time Andrews gets in on a low single. He's going to sub up between. Stratton wrapped around the waist. Got to get to that far hip and isolate and try to score here.
Got to pass that back shoulder, get to that back hip.
And we're going to get a stalemate with 40 seconds to go, first period. So Andrews will be on blood time.
I need the top 6 place winners for 106 and 113.
Again, a Stratton win here. Obviously be the number 1 seed, the 2-time state champion.
And 113 to the awards area.
Most of their matches have been tight within that 2 to 3 point margin, even this year.
They go to the state seed tomorrow.
There we go. Blood time over, 39 seconds on the clock. Stratton digging in again on that left leg. Looking to dump here. Andrews looking to step over the ankle. 29 to go.
Has an opportunity to score here. He's over the leg. It looks like he's over the leg.
And there's the 2 for Anthony Andrews.
Now he needs to try to finish this period on top.
Goes up 3-2. Stratton.
Here we go.
Just kind of rolls out of it.
We're in 7 seconds. He needs to get one here, and there he goes.
He does get the one. 3-3 as the first period comes to an end.
Great job by Andrews taking advantage of that hip defense, front headlock position. Time to score. Looks like
Stratton's going on injury time.
Banged up here. And yeah, I say it all night long. Those late period scores.
Yep.
Always the difference making really tight matches. You can finish the match period on their feet, finish the period on top. That matters. One thing I also noticed from Andrews here, Stratton shoots on him. He's got to really pay attention to keeping those elbows short if he wants to get behind and not get stuck in that front head with a low elbow. That's going to be the ticket if he wants to win this match.
So off of injury time, second period about to start. Andrews will take the bottom position. Stratton covers, and we're off and away with this. We're gonna get a caution on bottom. Get two. And run away in the second period. Andrews rises to his feet, trying to isolate those hands, and he gets the escape.
Great job getting to his feet.
Goes up 4-3.
Seen a lot of these lighter weight guys so far keeping that low stance, trying to get under that level of their opponent. There's a re-attack opportunity there for Stratton.
Minute 20 to go here, second period. Stratton looking to throw by there. Andrews doing a good job just squaring up.
There's another example, and his hands are in. That's a great call.
And that's a takedown for Andrews. He's going to go up 6-3.
Another example of elbow low by Stratton, and Andrews was able to sucker drag out and get the takedown.
Talking to Andrews earlier in the season, and he said one of the biggest changes he made is before this year, he just worried about losing. He worried about winning and losing. Now he just said, yeah, I just go out and wrestle and have a good time.
Man, when you listen to the elite wrestlers of the world, and they all talk about wrestling loose and wrestling excited. Now, that's a second caution. You need to be mindful here. He's up by 3.
Next one will be a point. And Stratton quickly to his feet, puts on the hand fight. And they go out of bounds.
Stratton looks like he's dealing with a little bit of a calf problem or Achilles problem.
Minute 3 on the restart. 6-3 lead for Andrews. Stratton set, and Andrews covers, and we're off. Stratton quickly to his feet. Andrews with the mat return. Has a chance for a low leg Turk there.
Yeah, he does. He's got to make sure he's not locking hands here.
Under a minute to go, 45 seconds exactly here in the second period. And we're out of bounds with 35 seconds on the clock.
Benny, I am not a psychic, but this match is far from over, and I got a feeling this last 2 minutes and 35 seconds are going to have some fireworks for us.
I think we are.
Stratton is always one to put on some big moves and a lot of energy here. So Andrews got to keep the pedal to the metal here and not go into a defensive mode. He's got to wrestle smart, but you keep trying to score.
Andrews in his second conference final lost to last year at 106. Bumps up 2 weight classes this year. And they got out of bounds.
That's a position that frequently wrestlers will lock their hands, kind of forgetting that they're on
We
top.
saw one earlier today in a semifinal match.
And you hear the Sussex Central coaches yelling about it. That's a scenario that might need to be looked at. Just
21 seconds here in the second period.
Stratton needs to stay on his feet, not let Andrews bring him back to the mat. Yeah, they're going to bang him for a stall in here.
And there's the top stall.
You know, I don't hate that call, Benny. I actually like that Andrews took that. You get a free one.
That's right.
Instead of giving up the escape. Now, he needs to make sure that he can hold him down these last 8 seconds, or that was for nothing. Big ride here.
8 seconds. Andrews needs to ride him out with the 3-point lead here. Drops down to a low ankle, kind of like a modified Navy.
Yeah.
And he comes out on top here with 1 period to go, 2 minutes on the clock. Andrews looking for an upset, but like you said, Dan, I think we're far from over here.
A couple things to note. Andrews has 2 cautions. Can't get another one.
And
he also has a stall call, so we need to be very mindful of those things. We're 3 points up. An escape's okay. A stall and an escape's not okay.
Stratton set. Andrews covers, and we're off here. 3rd period at 120.
Just let him go.
And he gives him the escape, 6-4. And not a bad strategy there by Andrews, because if he gives up the takedown, he's gotten out twice already.
Yeah, I like the shot.
He's in on the left leg. Stratton has the ankle, looking to go behind. And Stratton gets the takedown to tie it up 6-6.
If you're
Stratton, with 1:27 to go.
You're going to have to think about cutting him at some point. Now the timing is going to be important. I don't think you're going to turn him. How much time do you get? Look at that.
Escape by Andrews. And
there's that low elbow opportunity again. He got a high elbow.
Stratton gets another takedown. He goes up 8-7. And Andrews right in on the right leg this time. And he gets a takedown with a minute to go to take a 9-8 lead.
It looks like we gave we didn't give one, we gave an escape there.
We
gave a reversal.
Yep.
So we're 9-8, man.
9-8 lead for Anthony Andrews.
We have, and if he takes another injury time,
Andrews gets
it'll
choice.
be Andrews' choice, so he needs to be very, very careful.
49 seconds to go here. At 120 pounds, Anthony Andrews with the reversal takes a 9-8 lead over the 2-time state champ.
And you can see Scott Layfield, the coach for Sussex Tech, saying, wait for the whistle, no cautions. If he gets to his feet, you got to cut him. You got to cut him. You got to
lift and return, 40 to go.
What do I know?
And we're out of bounds with 37 on the clock. Now Scott Layfield telling him you got to keep him down. Scott Layfield, head coach of the Sussex Tech Ravens. Qualified for the Division I state tournament this year.
A lot of strategies going to go in these last 35 seconds. Can't afford a stall call. Now we got to get to our feet.
26 to go. Granby roll by Andrews.
There was a locked hands call there, missed, I believe.
And the escape.
Wow.
It's knotted up at 10 with 16 to go.
I think they're both going to be content with taking this thing to overtime.
Yeah, let's go. One more minute, right? So they're on their feet. 1 more minute on the clock. 10-10 at 120 pounds.
You got 2 local boys going at it in an overtime match. Wow. That's a tough.
Well, Stratton moved towards him. And this place is loud and rocking.
This place is loud. There's a lady standing next to me hooting and hollering.
This is first score here wins. Stratton in on the left leg. And Stratton with the takedown gets his 3rd conference championship.
And look at the sportsmanship by both of these guys. I mean, Andrews is dealing with some heartbreak right now. He had it. The sportsmanship from both of these guys. That's what we love to see. A great match.
Yeah.
2 great champions in my book.
Outstanding match. Maybe the best of the night. Here we go to 126 pounds. This will be the 2nd meeting between these two. Your number 1 seed, Trevor Copes of Caesar Rodney. He advanced with 11-3 major decision over Jasmine Sneed of Delmar. He's a junior, 37-3. And he's a 3-time state finalist, defending conference champ. His opponent, Chase Murray from Sussex Central with 11-5 decision over Hobie Gibbons of Sussex Tech. He's 34-9. He's a senior. He's the number 2 seed.
I want to go back to that match here again, Benny, that those two, I have a feeling that they might see each other again next week.
Yeah, maybe on a final.
Yeah. That was a great match, and I could have watched about 20 more minutes of that match.
So the 106s are getting their awards over on the podium.
Lots of smiles on that podium, but the real bracket is next weekend, Benny, and that's what these guys are all lining up for. Some of them are just content making it, but the rest of them are eyes on the prize for next week. Make some adjustments in the practice room. And I know both of those coaches from that 120-pound match will make some adjustments in case that match happens again.
Absolutely. So Murray will be the green band and the blue and gold of Sussex Central, and Copes will be the red ankle band and also the blue gold of Caesar Rodney. One meeting this year during the regular season. Copes getting the win and the number 1 seed here in the tournament today.
Yeah, Copes has done a really nice job. Every time somebody steps up, and he's wrestled the 26-pounder from St. Mark's and Murray and all these guys. He has really, really dominated this weight class all year long. But it's postseason, and anything can happen.
That's right.
He's 1 week away from achieving that kind of goal that he hasn't really checked off his list yet. 3-time finalist.
From Sussex Central.
And anything can happen.
So here we go at 126 pounds. And we're underway. Oh, there's that whip under. Takedown for Copes.
He does a really nice job on that over
Sometimes
collar.
he will whip it all the way around the head.
He's already in a bar tilt. He's already looking for back points. He's loading them up.
That takes some incredible hand strength.
Yeah, and watching what Murray was able to do in that high bridge and remaining calm. I think guys get in trouble there sometimes when they panic and they let go of what they have, and then next thing you know, they're on their back. And Trevor's obviously a seasoned wrestler, and he knew he was okay.
I'll tell you this, these are 2 of the classiest wrestlers in this conference.
Yeah.
Never stopped, never not stop, say hello to people and talk to people, and 2 really good kids here wrestling for a championship.
And at the end of the day, Benny, that's really what it's all about. Like, you just watch the sportsmanship that happened at the 120-pound weight class. 2 guys just went at it and left everything on the mat, 7 minutes, and at the end of the day, we want to raise good young wrestlers, good young men and women.
Minute to go here in the first period. Coach returns him to the mat with a claw ride. What he's been using lately here, Dan, he's been using this, I call it an Okie ball. Bring out here he comes.
Yeah, he likes to bring it out on the back, and then he comes around on the other side, scoops to try to attack the wrist, and that's a really deadly pinning combination. What he'll do is he'll take it, he's got a claw now, but he'll come out and he'll put his right hand under the arm, just like that, and he'll come to the other side if he can get that wrist. And this is a deadly pinning combination. If he can get it and get across that side, he missed it. But he'll be back to it.
Well, I think Murray's hit the weight room.
Yeah.
Keeps control here. 20 seconds to go in the first period.
Trevor rides like a backpack, man. It's hard to get him off you. He has just such good control of his hips and speed and shifty. He knows how to tie those hands up.
Both his brothers were state finalists. He was a 3-time state finalist. And we're out of time here in the first period. Copes with the 4-0 lead.
4-0, but control so far.
And Murray's going to go neutral.
I think that's a good choice. You're going to have to score some points. Like I said, Trevor's tough on top. He's really good at controlling those wrists and those hips. Murray can also throw from a lot of position.
Goes with that wrist and the collar tie again. That one time he doesn't get it, but he gets to the leg. So this time he uses it as a better setup. And he's got another takedown. Goes up 6-0.
Mindful of a little bit of a spladle opportunity here. Murray's looking to get that knee and go ahead and spladle him. But I think Trevor feels it coming on and just going to be content.
He's up 6-0, minute 23 to go here, second period.
You know, Benny, we talk a lot to wrestlers. At 2 unevenly matched opponents, you conference finals and state finals, it's going to require a little bit of re-attacks, first and second attacks, because those guys are ready. And we saw that last match as well. It was a beautiful example of a re-attack opportunity off that little over-collar shrug.
1 minute, 1 second to go here, second period. Murray is on bottom. Murray comes to his feet. Copes gives him the release. It's 6-1 here. 55 seconds to go, second period. Copes is stingy.
See, this is that dangerous kind of opportunity.
Right.
Copes can't, I mean, again, Copes is shifty, but you can't relax on Murray because he can toss you, and at this point, you're down 5 points. Why not? You know, throw the kitchen sink at him.
Shot by Murray. Copes looking to go behind. In the front head. And gets the hooks to the knee. Takedown Copes, 8-1. 22 to go here in the second period. 8-1 lead for Trevor Copes. Looking for a tilt here at the end of the second.
Really good at sinking that bar and kind of sneaky about it. He's going to get a quick turn. He's going to get a quick
He's going to get two at the end.
Wow.
10-1 lead for Trevor Copes.
Those late points are hard to get back. Now Copes is kind of building that lead.
Looks to Coach Mitchell, says, back on our feet.
You know, one of the things I like in this match, Benny, is you've got two coaches in the corner who are younger guys who came up through both of their own programs. You know, Coach Mitchell came up through Cesar Rodney, and
Shane
Coach Miller came up through Sussex Central, and they're both doing such a fantastic job that the future is bright for both of these programs. And young guys at the helm is a positive thing for Delaware and Henlopen Conference Wrestling.
On the edge with 1:40 to go, and they go out of bounds. I think Coach pretty much wants to play small ball right here while, you know, Murray wants to swing for defenses.
Yeah, I think if I'm Copes, I'm looking at leg attacks. You know, or I'm going on collar ties when he's underneath me. I'm not going any type of over-under on my feet or any kind of real collar tie from my feet.
Copes in on a shot.
The amount of trouble you can get in here is a lot less than what you can get in trouble from driving on your feet or letting him control the ties.
Approaching a minute to go here in the third period. And he's figured out that little underthrow there. Yeah. Minute 4. Coach goes to the 2-on-1. To the edge with 45 to go. 41 seconds on the restart.
You know, sometimes you think, and this is a deep thought, but sometimes you think if I'm Chase Murray and I want to, my goals next weekend too, do I show my one trick that I have in that bag? Every wrestler has it. We have that one go-to throw that we can hit with a pretty high percentage. Do I show it here, or do I hold it till maybe I get a chance again next weekend?
Shot by Murray. Copes, great job just dropping the hips. Goes behind. This will be our first bonus match of the night. He goes up 12-1 with 14 to go. And Trevor Copes is going to repeat as the Henlopen Conference champion and be the #1 seed next weekend at the state tournament.
That was just a and look at him looking for more back points. I love that. Looking late in the match, not putting, you know.
12-1 victory for Trevor Copes.
He's got his eyes set on that elusive state title, Benny, and he is definitely in peak form right now. So I look forward to watching him next weekend.
He's at his second conference title. He wants that elusive state title next weekend.
Conference placer. He's first at King of the Castle, Battle of the Bridge.
So we're going to move to 132 pounds. #1 seeded Evic Gordry, ranked 3 in the state. From Sussex Central, he pinned his way to the finals. He's a 40-5 record, and he's a junior. And he's up against one of the upsets. The 3 seed, Connor Smith, had a 6-5 overtime win over #2 seed Warren Coates of Smyrna. He's 39-8. And he's a junior.
Yeah, I got the chance to watch Connor Smith earlier in the year when they wrestled Lake Forest and had a fantastic match against Lake Forest to win the Henlopen Southern Division. And Cordry's just kind of one of those guys who holds really good position.
Yeah.
He's got good defense, and when he gets on top of you, no legs are coming, and it's your job to stop him.
Really strong. Also, when you shoot and drop, he drops those hips, he's hard to score on. He's in on that left leg of Smith right away. Takedown for Cordry.
Here come the legs.
Out of bounds, 2-0 lead for Evan Cordry. Talking to his dad earlier and talked about how he's had some bad luck at the state tournament the past couple of years. Hoping that this March he cleans it all up.
Yeah, it's a story for a lot of people. It's postseason wrestling is all about who's healthy at the right time of the year, whose mindset's right at the right time of the year, who's there to achieve their goals, and who's going to crack under a little bit of the pressure. And we get a lot of that. You get a lot of the people banged up, and everybody's a little bit banged up right now. Everybody's a little bit sick, and who can persevere through it? That's what that state tournament wrestling is all about. So looking for a set already.
Get some backs here early in the first period. Looking for the fall is Cordry.
He's close to getting it. If he can let that inside shoulder pass.
It's 3 back. Oh, transitions right to a half Nelson.
That was smooth, Benny. That's going to be it.
And there's a pin for Evan Cordry, your 2024 conference champion at 132 pounds.
That was a really sound match. And again, it looks like he's in peak form right now. That was those transitions from move to move is what separates the good guys from the great guys.
His competition will come out of the independent conference with 3 guys. There's a 3-way chase for the title this year. So we're going to move to 138, and we're going to see the son of a 2-time state champ. This is Talon Savage. Dad Jesse Savage was a 2-time champion. Did any of the Rigby sons and dads both win state titles?
Well, both the uncles won, but none of the sons won. Thanks for bringing that up on live YouTube.
We were talking earlier if there's ever been a father-son state champion. I don't think there has.
I really appreciate you ripping all those scabs off for my entire family and all my cousins.
There's so many Rigbys that you can't even identify one. And he's up against Savage's 27-5 as a senior. He's up against Jerusalem Howard, a sophomore out of Lake Forest. Got a pin in the semis. He's 31-7 again, a sophomore. So yeah, we were digging deep. Savage ranked number 2 in the state, and he'll have to get through Eddie Radke to do it.
Yeah.
Well, we were checking. I know we've had brothers.
Marvin Dooley and
his son. Yes, sir. There it is.
And Brandon Dooley, the head coach at Woodbridge now. Right. Marvin, the AD at Woodbridge. So that would be the only one I can think of off the top of my head. Savage has got this deep.
Yes, he does. But I'd tell you what.
Front there.
Jerusalem Howard can bend and twist.
And a lot of different ways. You're right about that.
I coached him as well. And some of the things he would do in wrestling was like, not everybody can do it. Not many people.
Savage is looking for a hazard here, but he's got to really get those hips across and make Jerusalem break that plane.
I believe this is their 3rd meeting this season with Savage winning the first 2.
Savage has really put together a nice year here, Benny. I enjoyed following him over the last few years, and just kind of waiting for him to turn that corner. It looks like he's doing that now, and it's fun because he's part of a great program.
Him and Radke have not met, but we may see it next Saturday at Cape and Henlopen High School.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Radke's the guy to beat in that weight class, and multiple-time state champ.
And we're going to go out of bounds with 21 seconds left.
When you're going against those guys that have been multiple-time state champs, you don't have anything to lose, and kind of the pressure's off you. Lake Forest also putting together a great season this year, making the state semifinals.
Granby roll by Howard. And gets the escape with 9 seconds to go. And we talked about that all night.
Late period points, you can't get them back. You need to really make sure you can finish the period on top if you're that guy. And again, if you're Jerusalem Howard, then you want to definitely get that escape before the end of the period. So nice job by him. I'm just going to go down here.
2-1 here at 138 pounds. Knight is moving awful fast. Another father-son combo, Tom Drummond and Chris Drummond out of Milford.
Didn't think about that. Old Tommy Drummond, yeah, 1983, I believe it was. Chris Drummond. Don Parsley. This is about the time that those messages start rolling in when you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When you
Glad you folks are watching and joining us. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. 3-1 lead for Talon Savage.
You know, Benny, you mentioned something simple as the night rolling on pretty quickly. And if you're a guy that's coming up in these matches, knowing when to get your warm-up in, start your warm-up, where to start your warm-up in this kind of settings, different than the tournaments have been all day because you got a lot of different space. Those little things matter in big settings like this. How effective and efficient is my warm-up?
Also talked to Jesse Savage, Talon's father, and he said some of the things he's cleaned up this year was nerves really got to him last year.
Yeah, a lot of high school, but college wrestlers, and even in the Olympics and things, it's nervous energy's energy lost. And if you're worried a lot about what your opponent's doing, you're not concerned about what you're doing. You need to focus on the controllables. Control what you can control, which is your effort, your energy, your warm up, your preparation, and let the cards fall where they will.
Right.
And when you go into it with that mindset, you tend to wrestle a little more free and just tend to flow, and that's the goal here for all these wrestlers.
Andy Waters from the Delaware State News did a nice article on Trevor Cope said that, and one of the things Coach Mitchell talked about was taking one match at a time, and the quote he used was, "The man who enjoys the journey goes further than the man who enjoys the destination."
Yeah, we talk a lot about loving the process, learning the process, but loving the process and the journey.
Right.
And the destination's always a little sweeter when you can enjoy those steps.
Absolutely.
I got a chance to talk to Coach Miller before their state championship, and I said, whatever you do, make some time to look around and just enjoy it and be present, man, because you might not get here again, and this is really what it's all about.
End of the second period, 3-1 lead for Talon Savage. Jerusalem Howard is going to go bottom. First of a couple of Lake Forest finalists here tonight. This program on the rise.
Yeah, really. Coach Hansen has done a really nice job. And I'll tell you this about Jerusalem Howard is that the gas tank on him is there's no such thing as a guy. He just goes and goes and goes. And
he gets the escape. And he looks undersized, but he's really not. He's cutting to get to 138, but he just looks small.
Yeah, and he's going to keep coming at you. You have to be ready to wrestle for an entire 6 minutes, or he's going to make you pay.
3-2, minute 36 on the clock in the third period.
Talon Savage is in the driver's seat here. But
deep on that double, but
he needs it. He needs, kind of similar to earlier, he needs to try to keep scoring here. If you give up a takedown and you get an escape, you're tied. Nice inside trip. My
takedown for Savage.
That was a textbook inside trip from that overhook straight on the edge, and that was really nice.
Goes up 5-2 with a minute 11 on the clock.
Right on the edge. Edge wrestling is another thing, just very similar to late period wrestling. Can you wrestle on the edge as well? I just got a text.
Joe Arcangelo and Chase Arcangelo, yes. Oh, they're strolling. Shouldn't he be coaching right now in the Blue Line Conference?
Well, that actually came from the referee extraordinaire, Joe Labozo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 2 of them are from William Penn.
We're in a Peterson position here, but we might mousetrap. Oh, he's going to kick over. This is going to be problems for Savage.
Reverse cradle. He's got it deep. And he gets the pin. Jerusalem Howard pulls the upset at 138.
Wow.
Right in front of the home crowd.
That is we said this. He'll keep wrestling and keep wrestling and keep wrestling. And again, I'm watching Jerusalem Howard, but I'm watching Talon Savage with the sportsmanship and the class. And Certainly not what he wanted to happen, but the way that he handled that is just a...
Howard jumped up like he was the biggest, most surprised person in the room.
Yeah, that was...
That's what you get when you don't stop wrestling.
That's right. That was developing, and I think we saw it. Just don't know if Talon Savage saw it, unfortunately for him.
So we got a big one coming up, number 1 versus number 2 in the state at 144 pounds. One meeting already, it was 8-4, won by the number 1 seed, Dustin Elliott junior, 41-2 from Sussex Tech. And his opponent from Cape Henlopen, state runner-up last year, Nick Walker, defending conference champ. He's 34-6 and a sophomore. Scott, there's a hush, Dan, there's a hush going across this gym right now.
Yeah, that took the wind out of the Sussex Central fan base here. That is, and again, you're really happy for Jerusalem Howard, but you also know on the other end of that, big win is a young man who just had a dream go away pretty quickly. But that is what postseason wrestling is all about. You got to keep
build on it and get it next week.
That's right. You learn, and you know what? The cards are always going to fall where they're supposed to next week. Seeding happens tomorrow, and you know the difference between you as a 4 seed or 5 seed and a 6 seed is not really always make or break. Now there are those scenarios where you're like, I want to be away from this guy, and so I can see him in the finals. But the way that seeding happens these days, it's out of your control. Just do what you can do here, control what you can control, and that's what Jerusalem Howard just did. He controlled what he could control, and he did a great job.
Again, I want to thank Jeff Stevenson and the Sussex Central Athletics YouTube channel. They're doing production and the cameras and all that good stuff tonight. Also Marvin Dooley allowing us to present this to you. Eric McGuire, the athletic director here at Sussex Central. Next year, this tournament will move to Milford.
Now wrestling at
But talked to Jeff earlier this week, and we said, you know what, we might do this whole production thing again next year. All 4 mats were streamed this weekend, all weekend long.
When, we're such a small state, and when 2 tech-minded guys like Benny Mitchell and Jeff Stevenson can collaborate, you put together a great product like this. So we're lucky. Delaware fans are lucky to have you guys.
You're going to see a lot to come because we've talked with Jody Wilson from Compete Events, and you're going to start seeing some live streaming of some junior events. When people work together and collaborate, you get great things.
Yep, we're too small of a state not to do that. And it's a positive. Wow, look at that little peak.
Elliott in the black and gold, silver, and white of Sussex Tech. And Walker in the black and light blue of Cape Henlopen. We're out of bounds. No, we're not.
I had this match circled, Benny.
It's like a cat.
Yeah, they're going to go at it. They're going to just let it fly. And in the first 40 seconds, we've already seen lots of great attempts, super ducks, and a stall call there early in the first period.
On red. And head coach Chris Mattioni wants to come to the table and talk about it.
Yeah, I think that was wrestling. I think they were wrestling there and not just a push out. I think that was through wrestling, Benny. And
I agree with you. They were down on their knees, came up. I know in college, that's what they call in college, but. Referee Jared Powell says that we're not discussing it. Made a call.
Mattioni is not happy about it. He is letting him know that he does not probably agree with that call.
So back underway at 144 pounds. We're halfway through the night, and Elliott, that was almost like a Trevor Cope whip under, but more of a pull down.
Yeah, that was nice. And I used to tell my wrestlers all the time, when you put a guy under, you got to make him pay because that's a position of advantage. And wow. Benny, if these two can keep this pace for 6 minutes, it's going to be something. This is a wildly fast pace with at least 10 scoring opportunities for both guys so far.
And we've only wrestled for a minute and a half.
Oh, we've only wrestled for a minute and a half.
Again, I'm Benny Mitchell. Dan Rigby with me, the former Caesar Odney and Milford coach.
I kind of get the same feeling in this match that I got in that 120 match, Benny, that there's going to be some fireworks.
Yeah, there's going to be 2-1's not how this is going to end.
It's not going to end that way, and gas tanks are going to be the factor here. Who can keep this pace for 6 minutes? We'll find out.
We've had 2 upsets already tonight, or 1 upset already tonight.
Near upset at 120.
Yeah. course, this is Henlopen Conference Wrestling. It's the southern part of the lower 2 counties in the state. 14 schools, public schools, 2 tech schools. So we end the first period 2-1 in favor of Dustin Elliott. Go to the coin flip, and it comes up red. And Walker's going to go down right away, try to tie this up.
You know, sometimes something as simple as a coin flip, getting choice first, you know, you want to get, I always like my athletes getting on bottom first. You get those points, especially in tied matches.
Well, you're in a situation here where they've wrestled before, so you kind of know what your chances are down on bottom.
He's got this nice little short sit situation that he seems pretty confident in. We're in a little bit of another little Peterson type position there a minute ago.
Elliott does have a jiu-jitsu background as we see him throw the boots in. But sometimes jiu-jitsu boots and wrestling boots are different.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of wrestlers who have had a lot of success going to jiu-jitsu. I don't know that the success is always
the opposite way.
The opposite way. Oh, I mean, there's certainly been some who have some success.
Skate for Nick Walker. It's 2-2 with 1:25 to go in the second period.
But Elliott is certainly a wrestler. He's not just a jiu-jitsu practitioner by any stretch of the imagination.
In deep is Walker. Elliott gets to a lay. I thought he was going to funk, but he went ahead and balled up and lived to fight another day.
That's right. You said something there. Live to fight another day. But sometimes it's okay to give up a little bit of ground for the whole war, not just the battle.
I want to give credit to our finals sponsors for tonight, Ocean View Plumbing and Sodell Concepts. They are your sponsors of the final round here tonight.
It's a beautiful re-attack. Even though we were out of bounds, the beautiful re-attack. Fireman's carry. And Benny, you go back to what you just said. That's one of the beautiful things about being here in Sussex County and Kent County, Henlopen Wrestling. There are so many businesses that love to support youth wrestling and all the beauty that it brings. And you go to Sodell and you look at the amount of wrestlers that work for that company, and you know, that's just another great thing that happens here.
Scott told me that when he has a chance, he hires athletes, especially wrestlers.
Well, I think you get that from a lot of businesses, the Wrestlers and Business Network, and wrestlers make some great employees, and the skills and things that you can transfer.
These two are stingy.
My goodness.
And take down Walker with 20 seconds to go in the second.
All right, short time opportunity. Let's see what Elliott does here. Let's see if we can get to our feet and escape, or if we're just going to be content.
And we're going to go out of bounds 5 seconds on the restart.
And the Cape coaching staff is saying that Elliott went out, pulled himself out there. Well, if I'm Elliott, I want that restart to give myself a chance for one
point here.
One Granby, one stand-up, one switch, get my escape.
I think this is a match we're going to see next Saturday night as well. So 4-2 lead for Walker. Elliott goes immediately to the bottom position. Walker breaks him down right off the whistle. Elliott crawls back to his base.
Got a cross wrist, he looks hazard and he lost it. Now we're in a 1-point match and another. Got to wrestle the edge smart here. You can't afford to flee the mat here.
No.
You can't afford to flee the mat here. You got to wrestle. You got to wrestle.
Got to face him.
And he called up
for fleeing the mat.
Technical violation, fleeing the mat.
And here comes head coach Scott Layfield of the Ravens.
And just knowing Scott Layfield, he's going to tell him a few things.
Right.
I think by the rule book, you might have had a right call there.
Yeah.
But I sometimes argue that a wrestler would do that in the center to avoid that low single as well.
Right. And Layfield's going to be hit with unsportsmanlike, and he's going to give him a little bit more.
Yeah, Scott's good for that. He likes to tell you about yourself and then tell you just a tad bit more before walking back to his seat.
And now he's going to get the assistant referee an earful. 5-3, 1:24 to go. Shot by Elliott.
This is.
And they funk out of bounds. Minute 15 on the restart.
Walker's done a really nice job getting to Elliott's legs.
Yeah.
He's got to capitalize. And we got to make sure those legs do not put pressure on that scissor, or that'll be illegal.
And another takedown by Walker, goes up 7-3. 42 to go here in the match.
"35 seconds, you're down by 4. You got to get to your feet, or you got to start looking for some sort of tight Peterson move. You got to put some points on the board."
Gets the escape, makes it 7-4 with 25 to go.
If you're Elliott, you got to look big here. Arm throw opportunity, he missed it. And Walker's going to capitalize, and he's going to hold right there. And the Cape faithful are excited
yeah.
about that. Just out of picture view probably there. You can see them coming out of the bleachers. They are fired up.
And that's going to be a major decision for Walker. 12-4, major decisions.
That's a great match. That is a great match by Walker. You know, last year Walker really wrestled well at the end of the year. He really peaked at the right time, and it looks like he is doing the same thing now. I just can't, for the life of me, that pace was extraordinary the entire match. There was no feeling each other out, trying to figure out who's where. That was just go.
Yep. I think a fan has been ejected over in the Cape section.
Now,
State Trooper Marvin Dooley are on their way over there and escorting them out.
They had probably their best match of the night so far, so we're second best. I don't know. We've had a couple barn burners so far. We've had
good finals.
We've had 3 finals so far that could all be viral on YouTube at some point.
Yeah.
In the second, from Sussex Central, Talon Savage. And your champion at 138 pounds from Lake Forest, Jerusalem Howard.
So here we go, 150 pounds. These two have met 3 times. This is meeting number 4. Stanley Pete ahead 2-1 in the series, and they've all been tight matches. Stanley Pete, defending champ, your number 1 seed. He is 38-2, a junior from Laurel. And he's up against Case Dempsey from Lake Forest, 35-2, the number 2 seed, and a senior.
Yeah, we got the chance to call this match during the year, and it was a barn burner then. It was a back and forth kind of match, and so I'm sure this will be no different.
From Lake Forest, Case Dempsey.
And we're underway at 150. These two both from the Henlopen South. We don't see a lot of Henlopen South versus Henlopen South in the finals, as the North are the bigger schools.
Yeah, we've got a few here tonight.
Don't reach up, watch that far shot.
When we get to 165, we got a blown up bracket. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Both 1 and 2 seed knocked out of the championship part of it.
I got to see that last night. I saw someone posted about that on social media. Certainly that bracket is a mess. Nice re-attack opportunity.
Pete gets tight around that leg. Now switches off to a double. I think he maybe should have stayed on that single a little longer.
Yeah, you're on the edge. You got to score here. Circle him back in. Now he's in a Turk position too here, Benny. If he can stay on, he missed it. He lost the Turk there, but oftentimes you finish that double and you end up in a Turk position. You can look for a takedown and near fall. semifinal appearances this
Right.
year. Coaches who invest a lot in their youth programs.
We got to call the conference championship match this year.
That was a barn burner.
Yes, it was.
Came down to the very last match, if I remember correctly.
Now, Pete's got to be careful. He'll drop down that leg. Probably get a stalemate first.
And referees will typically give you one stalemate, and then you do it again.
And there it is. There's a stalemate with 13 seconds. So you got to be careful. I call it the jawbone where you drop down, get that leg, and but you got to improve from there.
You got to advance the position. Short time.
Dempsey looking to score late, 7 seconds. And time's going to run out. We go to the second period. Stanley Pete with a 2-0 lead. This is a weight class where everybody's beaten. Everybody has a loss in this weight class.
So tomorrow will be fun for the seeding committee.
These guys have been 1 and 2 most of the year in the rankings. And we're going to get a caution on Pete, dropping on top there, hanging the head. And this is a kid, Stanley Pete, that kind of changed a little bit of everything. I remember back in like 8th and 9th grade, he was diagnosed with diabetes and went from cutting weight to dieting and lifting and
Getting strong. You can just tell he spends a lot of time in the weight room.
And he also, with all that, he picked up a faster pace.
Yeah. That's the fun thing for me, Benny, is watch a lot of these kids come up through the system. Homegrown, a lot of these homegrown kids.
It's funny, because back in the middle school days, Stanley Pete and Malachi Stratton were in the same weight class. Not anymore. I don't know if you remember the whole Stanley Pete blood time last year.
This is actually blood green. Yeah, this is blood green. So far, so good.
Yep.
Blood on red, too.
So got it cleaned up, 2-0 lead for Stanley Pete here in the second period.
Coaches, please.
Dan, your most memorable memory, either as a coach or as a wrestler, in the Henlopen Conference?
Major selections, please turn OW.
I had a wrestler by the name of Jackson Dean.
Yeah, he was here today.
As a freshman. He was wrestling defending state champ in the conference tournament with Greg Baum. And they went back and forth. He battled back and rattled off a significant amount of points as a freshman. And that was a big one. And I also had a young man named Kevin Hudson that had a pretty epic heavyweight final as well against
Chris Diaz.
Yeah.
Escape for Dempsey. It's 2-1 here in the second period with 1:15 to go. Yeah, there was two good. Kevin Hudson now an assistant at Caesar Rodney.
Jackson Dean is wrestling tomorrow at the National
College
Collegiate Open in Smyrna. So those Delaware wrestling fans who haven't had enough yet, get to Smyrna tomorrow and watch some of the best unattached college wrestlers in the country. It's going to be a great day of wrestling. And there's a nice high crotch attempt here.
Jackson wrestling for the University of Pennsylvania.
Switches double again. Nice lift. Oh.
Takedown. Pete goes up 4-1.
You know, Benny, you talked about this earlier, that high crotch is, it's the fine line of when do I switch off to the double, when can I transfer that weight, and the first time he switched off, it was a little late. This time was perfect. He had a good lift and just split his legs and probably got some near fall as well.
I can see him there.
As we said, Sussex Central has wrapped up the team title. And they did that earlier. Solid team this year. It was a solid team.
Yeah, they really put together a great season of wrestling. And young coaches on the staff, a lot of guys who came up through Sussex Central Wrestling and believe in the program. I think that's important sometimes.
And if you look at the team score here, look how many teams are over 100. 9 teams over 100. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. And then, I think that's what made Delaware wrestling so fun this year,
right.
is that there was a lot of parity for most of the season. Like Sussex Central really separated themselves late in the year.
Right.
But going into that state tournament, you didn't really know who was going to beat who on the semifinals. You didn't know who was going to beat who on the Division II side. And I think that when there's a lot of parity, that makes for fun postseason wrestling.
It fills the seats, too.
It fills the seats, and I think that the state tournament's not really any different for us right now. I think this year there's a lot of parity amongst weight classes. I don't think a ton of weight classes have a standout number one, and that's exciting, and I think that'll make for an even more enjoyable tournament next weekend.
We're back underway in the second period. Under 30 to go here. 4-1 lead for Stanley Pete in the red for the Laurel Bulldogs. Big lift, mat return. And that'll take a little sting out of you.
Yeah, but he did a great job of what we call cat to the mat, where you kind of recover quickly and don't get elongated. Bring your knees in and watch for locked hands here. Make sure we don't lock our hands.
So we're going to go to the third period. 4-1 lead for Pete. And he's going to go in the bottom position.
I think Stanley Pete got away with 2 late period kind of maneuvers where he was on his feet in a standing position for quite some time, but because it was late in the period, referee didn't call it. Caution on red here.
Underway here in the third period. Case Dempsey, I think one of 3 brothers. There's another one, the younger one, Cohen, and they have an older brother, I think, Cole, that graduated. And we're going to go blood time. Stanley Pete, master of the long conference final.
Yeah.
Last year was him bleeding, and in a match, I think it felt like it took an hour.
Sometimes these blood times can be favorable to the guy who maybe doesn't have the gas tank.
Right.
So if you're the guy that does have the gas tank, you want to move these along as fast as possible, get that match started again, get back out there.
Coming up after this, we'll have another exciting Laurel Lake Forest matchup with defending state champ Nuruddin Ahmad Stats. And Xavier Limehouse, just a great athlete, 2-time All-State football player, All-State in 3 positions this year, offense, defense, and special teams.
That is exceptional. And then, again, we got a chance to call that match during the year, and an overtime takedown by Limehouse.
Yep.
What a great match that was, and I was looking forward to that one as well. Oh, they gave him the old tape job all the way around the head.
Yep.
That will constrict your breathing a little bit.
Yep, you're going to be breathing out your mouth now.
That's right.
And we've got a caution on top. Again, you're watching the Henlopen Conference Champions, the final round, produced by the Sussex Central Athletic live stream crew. Jeff Stevenson on the computers. Now I'm Betty Mitchell, and he's Dan Rigby. And we're 1:25 to go here in the third period. 4-1 lead for Pete on bottom. He's got to get that chest off the mat, Dan. We talked about this in the dual meet.
Yeah, and Dempsey has a pretty tight arm bar here, pretty deep arm bar. Let's see if he can do anything with it. I think there was an opportunity in the match where he got him going and couldn't finish. You're down 3. You have an ideal situation here, and that's very similar to what happened in the duel.
We're going to get a potentially dangerous, and that's I'm not sure about.
Yeah, that's tough. Obviously, your athlete safety is number 1.
1:02 on the clock.
And it's your job as the athlete to make sure that you don't get called for that. You don't know if you'll get to that situation again.
Under a minute to go. Lake Forest fans are starting the stall call chant.
Yeah, and at this point, Pete doesn't have a stall against him.
No.
He's got one to burn for sure.
blood on a reinforced bar.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
And they're both bleeding.
They're both bleeding. And it might take a little longer. What do you call the blood time?
I'm not sure. Can you call on both? That's what the Lake Forest coach is asking.
Running it on red. Oops. The wrestler gets 5 minutes of blood time. If you were to expire that 5 minutes, then you...
Seen it happen, but I saw it happen when it was 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they extended it to 5.
That's why the Lake Forest coach was asking who the blood time was called on.
So back, ready to wrestle here in the third period. 4-1 lead for Stanley Pete, 34 to go in the match.
See if we can finish the match with no more blood time.
Pete, switch attempt, re-switch by Dempsey. Pete comes out of it with a leg. Under 20 to go.
Well, Pete, I'm going to hold there and just keep good position.
And he gets the reversal, goes up 6-1. So Stanley Pete, another repeat conference champion here tonight, this time at 150 pounds with the 6-1 decision.
Yeah, that was a sound match by Stanley Pete. He did what he needed to do. Those double attempts were nice.
This is Stanley Pete of Laurel's 100th career.
And he gets his 100th win.
Win at the Henlopen Conference Championship. That is cool.
Number 100 for Stanley Pete.
That's a great accomplishment. 100 wins, Henlopen Conference Championship.
Two-time Henlopen Conference champion. I think that's our third one tonight, or the fourth one tonight. Fourth repeat champion. Folks, buckle your seatbelts. Here we go, 157 pounds. These guys are 1-1 versus each other. Your number 1 seed, Nuruddin Ahmad Stats from Lake Forest. He had a 1-0 victory over Justin Negron of Sussex Central in the semis. He's 34-2. He's a senior and he's the defending conference and state champion. His opponent, Xavier Limehouse, the number 3 seed. Dan, he had a 20-11 major decision in the semis.
He was a champion.
Didn't get a chance to see that one, but I can imagine it was a lot of take him down,
It
let
was
him
over
up.
Brandon West of Smyrna.
Take him down, let him up.
44-2, and he's a senior. And as we said, all-state football player in 3 positions for the Laurel Bulldogs.
Nuruddin Stats did a really nice job late in the season last year. Again, wrestling really well at the end of the year. I don't know how many people would have said that's our pick for the state championship, but you know, Limehouse is going to try to find a way this year to upend that.
3 Lake Forest Spartans in the finals tonight. Mike Hansen, the head coach at Lake Forest.
You know, sometimes, Benny, and I'm not foreshadowing here, but sometimes these wrestlers, nice attempt, know each other too well.
Yeah.
And they start to, sometimes college wrestling can be that way. You just kind of.
Yeah, I think if we get an early score here, we're going to have fireworks.
Correct.
If we don't get an early score, we're going to have a slow down match.
Yeah. We almost had one there. When Limehouse gets going through you like a freight train, that's how he scored on that double in the overtime match at the Southern Championship.
Limehouse, quiet kid. I attempted to interview him during football, couldn't get a whole lot of words out of him. He's just very, very humble, team type of guy. And we're going to get a stall warning on Stats.
And so the rule is, like, that wasn't a wrestling move, right?
Right.
Limehouse was moving forward and Ahmad Stats went back. That's the stall call the way it should be called. Not when we're wrestling through a position.
Right.
not saying that it was wrong. 4, but just for those at home that were curious.
Looking a little shrug here. Well, he uses his length well, doesn't he?
He does, but Limehouse is well aware of that position.
Two seconds here in the period, and we're going to end 0-0. So look for a tight match here to the end.
I need the top 6
Just a few attempts from both guys.
and 150 to report to the awards.
So it looks like Stats deferred, and Limehouse is going to go bottom. So Stats is saying this is not going to be a 1-1 match.
That's right. I always like if it's a 0-0 trying to get that first point, because that is that's the decision maker on who gets choice in sudden victory.
Forward roll there by Limehouse, and we go out of bounds, and I think he may have caught Stats' foot.
Yeah, right in the face, it looked like.
And Limehouse will go on injury time. X-Money, they call him over in Laurel. These are two guys also elementary, middle school, had the pleasure to coach. And one of the Nerdine's brother, Evie, one of the friendliest guys in the gym.
He will say hi to you no matter where you are.
Time.
That's right, he's a good guy.
So injury time's over. Limehouse returns to the bottom position. So far tonight's we've had some, or excuse me, Dan, I keep calling him my other partner, man. We've had some exciting matches. We've had some tight matches. We've had some overtime, and we've had some dominating matches here today.
Yeah, there's 3 come to mind that have just been absolute barn burners, and we're not done yet.
No, we got some stuff to go here. Coming up next, we got the blown up bracket at 165. Number 1 and number 2 were knocked out of the championship side. And Stats putting on a good ride here. Minute 5 to go. One thing about Stats, he's a very confident wrestler.
And stoic. You know, nothing seems to faze him.
Right.
He's very calm under pressure. Just a quiet confidence is exactly the best way to describe him. And we mentioned this before. He has those long arms, and he can just really cinch that tight waist on Limehouse. And that can really zap some energy.
And there's a stall call on bottom. So we've seen it called both ways tonight. We've seen the bottom call, we've seen the top call. Limehouse rises to his feet. Big lift. Brings them back to the mat, and they're out of bounds. And a stall call on Stats on a mat return.
Did we miss a stall call earlier? I must
He got one in the first period for backing out of bounds.
Right. I'm sorry. That matters. I think he was calling the stall before he lifted, but yeah, that's
Wait, he lifted twice.
Yeah.
That's a tough call. That's Scott Cameron says an aggressive stall call.
That is an aggressive stall call, but
and a reversal by Limehouse.
And a standing reversal, so you don't need any supporting structures on the mat.
He goes up 3-0 with 23 seconds. So Stats needs to get something on the board here.
He needs to get to his feet, and he's got to finish this period on his feet.
Goes switch
on top
and gets the reversal. 3-2.
He's got to ride him out, and then he's got to get to bottom, and it'll be his choice starting the third. So stalling's a factor for both guys here now because they're both in the point area.
Both have been warned. One's been scored on, and that's going to be in the second period. 3-2 lead for Xavier Limehouse. Stats goes bottom, and that last switch looked pretty effortless.
So, yeah. So we've got stall calls for both guys. We've got a injury time for Limehouse, which could be a factor at some point.
There's another switch. And a reversal for Stats.
Now, Limehouse has got to really be cautious to not keep his head on the mat.
The leverage on that switch just causes Limehouse to go just chest down.
And he's got an arm bar. And he's got
And
it
a
deep.
wrist. Yep.
And he's got it deep. Yeah, Ahmad Stats is not going to be super comfortable with just a 1-point lead.
No.
He wants some more points here.
He leads 4-3 with 1:17 to go on the edge.
Hey, you keep pushing the pace.
And we're going to go out of bounds. 1:11 on the restart. Stats up 4-3. He's in the top position. I think the coaches are telling him, look, hey, you got to run. You got to run that thing.
That's right.
You got a stall call. Approaching a minute to go in the match. And he breaks him flat again.
Limehouse has got to do a better job of building base.
He's got to get his head up and, eyes up and chest up.
Mike Hartnett's going to be looking at him here soon. If he doesn't make a couple big attempts. There we go, to his feet.
Matt return, Granby.
There's a Peterson position. This is what happened last time. We
Right.
called it. And the Peterson position threw a wrench in the thing.
And now Stats turning into a mousetrap.
Yeah,
and we get a
he
stalemate.
recognized it this time. 40 seconds.
So Dan, there, now he's got that little roll. Do you lift and go the other direction?
Yeah, and if you lift here and he goes, maybe you just let him
roll and just catch him.
Yeah, catch him on the backside of it.
30 to go here in the match. Power half by Stats. He's got he had that half in pretty deep. $12 to go in the match.
I think you let the wrestlers decide it here, and
Let them finish this out.
Do.
Yeah. I think there's enough activity there to.
Yeah. Both guys did a good enough job of doing what they needed to do.
And that's your final at 157. Nerdine Ahmad Stats with his second Henlopen Conference title.
Yeah, that was two guys who were very strategic about what they were doing.
So let's talk about this crazy weight class. We're at 165 pounds. It's number 5 versus number 6. Jesse Dixon coming from the 5 seed for the Smyrna Eagles. He had a 7-2 decision over the 8 seed, Israel Russell of Polytech. 21-12 on the year, and he is a senior representing Smyrna High School. Quincy Risper, he was a 6 seed. He knocked off number 3 Hayden Wheeler from Cape Henlopen last night, 11-4. Then knocks off number 2 today, Sean Farrell from Lake Forest with a 7-5 decision. He's the 6th seed representing Woodbridge. He's 35-5, and he's a senior.
Wow, 35-5 as a senior from Woodbridge. This is the fun of postseason wrestling. Is you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Number 1 got upset last night.
In 6th, from Indian River, Angel Mora Salas.
And number 2 knocked out of the championship side this morning in the semis.
In 4th, from Sussex Central, Justin Craig. In 3rd, from Milford.
As we hand out some awards back here, it looks like 150s on the podium.
Dempsey. And your champion at 150 pounds from Laurel, Stanley P.
Top 4 wrestlers here at the Henlopen Conference get an automatic bid to the state tournament, and then each weight class will have 4 wild cards throughout the state.
Yeah, and the way that works, Benny, for those listeners at home, after the 12 automatic bids, 4 from each conference go up, they put the number 5 placer on the board from the Blue Hen, from the Independent, from the Henlopen, and the committee looks at common opponents head-to-head, and when that number 5 from, let's say, the Henlopen goes up on the board, then the Henlopen 6
Right.
can go up on the board.
And there has been years where the Henlopen has taken 8 guys to this tournament.
Yep.
From Smyrna,
So here we go, about ready to get underway at 165 pounds. Risper in the blue,
senior with a
and Dixon in the white and red.
He finished 3rd at the Milford Invitational, 2nd at the
It's actually our second Smyrna wrestler in the finals.
Right.
Quaker
Alfrey
Classic.
was able to advance with medical forfeit.
Conference last year, as well as 6th in the state. From Woodbridge, Quincy Risper.
You're watching Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports. Benny Mitchell, Dan Rigby, Matt Side, here at Sussex Central High School in Georgetown, Delaware. Jeff Stevenson on the controller. Jeff Stevenson, 2-time state champ, Dan.
Yeah,
Long time ago.
every time I see that guy, I don't think he ages at all.
Nah. Not that much bigger either.
He said that, not me.
I wrestled. He was on my team. I'm allowed. But he put this production together. Not only was he the producer of all this, he was the tournament director. He was running track. And
one of the things that I said to Shane Miller during the year was I really appreciate what Sussex Central Wrestling has been able to do to make wrestling more of an event. You watch their live streams. They have a camera at the tunnel before wrestlers come out.
Right.
They have a DJ. They have lights. It's a spectacle. But that's what people get excited to see. It creates an environment that's enjoyable for all wrestling fans. And I think,
when you go to Laurel, everything's red. Literally, everything's red in that gym.
a lot of our teams in Delaware have done a really good job of making it an event and making it something that people want to come to besides just the wrestling. A lot of colleges have been doing a great job of that. Penn State and Iowa. And I'm glad that our Henlopen schools are taking note and doing that as well. We've got a near side opportunity.
Caesar Rodney with the band.
Yeah.
And on the edge, staying live action here.
I like that no call by
Takedown by Dixon.
Yeah. Gave him reaction time on the hand. Nick Ganley on the call.
Smyrna coached by Aaron Harris, former Caesar Rodney state champ, wrestled at Del Val.
Did a great job when he came back from Florida, taking the Dover program and rejuvenating it, and then took a show on the road to Smyrna and won 2 state titles there as well. So Aaron's has his team.
Former heavyweight state champ Brandon Dooley, as we listed, one of 3 now, 4 father-son state champ combinations.
Yeah, and Brandon's done a really nice job with the wrestling program, but also with the football program. And he and Dom Trotter both have done are on that football coaching staff at Woodbridge and had a great season this year. And
You talk about picking scabs, and I remember Brandon won his title as a junior. Now he's coaching at the program with a guy that beat him his senior year, Woodbridge. He got beat by Woodbridge.
that's right, I remember that.
It'll heal. It'll heal.
Shrug opportunity there.
And Brandon and his father, also football coaches at Woodbridge. Made the 2A state tournament this year. And they're out of bounds. 2-1 lead for Dixon with 1:09 to go here in the second. Nick Ganley, another ex-CR guy on the call.
Yeah, Nick's an up-and-coming ref official, man. He does a really nice job.
He doesn't get rattled. That's what I like about him.
He doesn't get rattled, and nothing is below him. He'll go do a youth match, a youth tournament, and then he'll come do the Henlopen Conference Finals, and he's in it for the right reasons. He's in it for the sport. And
take down Jesse Dixon.
I like a lot of our officials have done that this, the last couple of years, or just in general.
We've talked a lot tonight, Scott or Dan, about how the these matches will affect the seedings. This match is really going to affect the seedings tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a scenario several years back when I was coaching Caesar Rodney where one of our guys was sick and lost to a kid who had significant losses during the year. Our athlete couldn't get in and get on the board until that athlete got on the board. So you're at the mercy of who you beat and who you don't beat and who your matchups are.
And then what they did this weekend.
What they did this weekend, and it can really throw a wrench in this thing. So I'm excited for the selection committee to have to deal with this tomorrow.
It might be a long meeting tomorrow.
It might be. This is going to be one that's going to end. And this is just the Henlopen conference. You
Right.
have no idea what happens in the Blue Hen or what happened in the Independent. There could be 4 weight classes like this at one of those
I was
conferences.
peeking in on a couple of the Independent. There was some 1-2 upsets in the finals. 10 seconds on the clock here in the second period at 165 pounds. Risper with the switch attempt. And Dixon gonna ride him out. And we go to the third period. Dixon up 4-1.
You know, Benny, you talk a lot about the lineage of Delaware wrestling, of Henlopen Conference wrestling even, and you think about, you know, Jesse Dixon's dad was a state place winner for Dover High School. A lot of these athletes, their dads wrestled for teams in Delaware.
Cousin wrestles for Caesar Rodden.
That's right. 3 cousins, actually,
Right.
for Caesar Rodden.
Yeah, the 3 brothers. His cousin Owen has qualified at 175 pounds for the state tournament with a 3rd place finish here today. Coming off a knee injury. He's had to take a couple weeks off to recover. And I'm not sure he's fully recovered yet.
Yeah.
So
Risper's done a nice job of staying in this match.
come to their feet and escape for Dixon. He leads 5-1. I think Nick Ganley's a real estate guy by trade, isn't he? During the day?
Nick Ganley is a lot of different things trade by day. He does some real estate. He sells some Pokemon cards. He has a landscaping business. He does a lot. He likes to stay busy. Shout out to Nick Ganley, Iron Valley. Maybe he'll become a sponsor for you.
But I'm still not going to cut him any breaks. We'll be hard on them refs. Done a good year here tonight in the finals. Not everybody agrees with their calls, but it's not everybody's position to agree with their calls.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important for officials is that you own your calls. If you made it, if you made a mistake, then you
we saw that with Jared Powell. He's, Coach, I'm done.
Yeah.
We're not talking anymore.
I'm not going to go back and take away that stall call.
35 to go here in the match. Dixon up 5-1.
And at the end of the day, we're humans, you know, and it's okay to make a mistake. And
digging that underhook in is Risper.
yeah, and that's smart by Dixon. You're up by 4. You don't need to be in an over-under situation. Risper wants to be chest to chest in that scenario. You don't need to be chest to chest. You're better to be in a front headlock than you are to be in a chest to chest over-under. So he's going to seal the deal and wrestle in a smart position there.
Number 5 seed Jesse Dixon with the 5-1 decision, and he is your conference champion at 165 pounds. Those are the stories every year we come in here and wait to see.
Yeah,
we have a good.
I was just going to say that is special, and it is. Every year you come into the tournament and you get a story like that where a guy just blasts on the scene and wrestles above their seed, and that's important.
So we have an intra-district final here. Matter of fact, the only 2 schools in southern Delaware that are in the same school district, with Indian River and Sussex Central. Number 1 seed, Javion Chandler. He's 32-2. He's a junior from Indian River. He's from the southern part of the district, and he's going to take on number 2 seed Gabe Cannon, 38-3, a senior. He's from Sussex Central in the northern part of the school district.
I've always really enjoyed watching Gabe Cannon. He can pin. He's one of the best pinners I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
He pins all the time.
He's going for his 100th pin tonight.
I mean, that's insane.
Right.
There are wrestlers who dream of getting 100 wins, and this kid's on the verge of getting 100 pins. That is unreal.
Chandler, defending conference champion at 65 last year. Cannon was second at 175. Or maybe 190. I can't remember where he wrestled last year.
He was 190.
Chandler in on the single leg, mid-level. Pulls it out.
This is a position where a lot of guys lose the single legs. They got to try to get to the high level.
And we're going to be out of bounds, no score.
That's a good call.
Top guy in this weight class up at St. Mark's. Stan Sports' son, Luke Spore. Defending state champ at 165 last year.
You know, another thing I'm going to say, Benny, is another thing I was going to say is our fans.
Another father-son.
Oh, Luke Spore and Stan Spore. Yeah, absolutely. We've had a lively crowd here, but
they've been under control.
Take
down Chandler.
I think in the society that we live in right now, and I think this is something that's really important. It's okay to get a little bit angry about a call or get a little bit angry, but it's not okay to act like a jerk. And I think everybody here tonight has done a great job.
Man, we had one dust up earlier tonight.
Yeah, you're always going to have one. But I think that's important, right? Recognize that these guys are human beings, and I've never met an official, and I hope that's ever said, I can't wait to go ruin this kid's dreams tonight. You know, they don't do that. That's just not what happens. You can be angry about a call, but
you just hope they feel bad if they do.
That's right.
Cannon with the escape and a quick takedown.
Great re-attack.
He's up 3-2.
In a short time.
Yeah, he doesn't even get one there. He gets 3.
That's right. He's got to be able to ride him here for the last 10.
Jake Sawyer on the call. Speaking of St. Mark's people.
Now, if I'm Cannon, I'm recognizing how easy I just dropped that armbar in late in the period. I'm putting a little mental note that says I might go back to this. He really put that armbar in easily. And
so Chandler's going to take bottom after Cannon defers.
And if I'm Chandler, I'm saying that armbar just came in really easy. I need to be careful here.
I got to keep my elbows in.
And here it comes again.
Gabe Cannon was the quarterback of the Sussex Central football team this year. The District 2, Class 3A District 2 champions.
You know, I had the athletic director from Milford, Jed Bell, informed me that, and I said, how would you like to have a guy that looks like that?
Right.
That can built like that. He's got a near side.
Gable
he's
cradle.
Behind the knee. He's behind the knee.
And a lot of time, and in the center of the mat. Gets 2 back.
You got. No, I don't think he gave him any back.
I don't think he gave him any back. Standing reversal.
I think he swiped 2. I think he swiped 2. Yep, there we go.
The referees got together. 2 back, 4-3.
Again, another example of conferring with your teammate. Get the call right. Great job by Chandler to get out of that. That was not an easy position to get out of. Come up. You talked about this earlier. You got to progress that position. You got to advance the position. That's
out of bounds. 5-4 lead for Cannon. And Chandler a little slow getting up. 33 seconds on the restart. Chandler, all-state running back for the Indian River Indians, Class A.
I love hearing this stuff, man. And the multi-sport athletes are what makes schools great. You know, when you have an athlete that is gifted and strong and fast, and they can play multiple things. That's a cool thing.
Much as parents don't think it's true, college coaches look for that.
They love that. They love that. Short time, and we got an escape.
6-4. So he's gotten 4 points in the final 20 seconds of the period. 2 periods.
Now Chandler's going to fire one off here with 7 to go.
And they go out of bounds. You may want to seatbelt that young lady next to you there, Dan.
Yeah,
she was on her way out to the mat.
Yeah, Chris.
She's pulled a chair mat side. Good for her.
The gentleman that brought it to her said, "This is your home. Here's a chair."
There you go. That's the end of the second period. 6-4 lead for Gabe Cannon, and he is going to go in the bottom position.
I always enjoyed coaching in this gym because you never knew who was sitting where and what they were going to say to you. I love that.
Right.
You go to the head table and you're going to get called a bunch of different names, and that was always fun for me. And here, yep, that's a good call by the official. It's a standing reversal only. He didn't give him the one. Now he's in a bar position
deep bar.
again. He abandoned this earlier to go to the cradle, but I think he's going to stay with it this time.
Brings a reverse bar.
Got
to get that hand on the fist on the mat.
I think his answer is to go back to where he was.
8-4 lead for Gabe Cannon.
I wonder why he's so deep in that regular bar on 3 different occasions now. And there he is. There he is. Stick with it and running around the head.
Now he's going to go big cookie. Minute 14 to go here in the third period. Gotta get chest to chest on this.
Chandler's got that little limp arm there.
Yeah, he's gonna feel that when he's about 30 something. 44 seconds to go in the match. 8-4 lead for Gabe Cannon. He is in the top position. As we said, Cannon going for his 100th career pin.
And it'll be this match. Is that right?
Yeah, it would be if he gets it here. Now he's going to that, I call it Okie bar, but he's got to get out front and pinch that head off. And that's an escape for Chandler. And takedown Cannon. Under 10 to go.
He's going to ice it here with 10 to go.
And Gabe Cannon is your 175-pound Henlopen Conference champion. I have to tell you, OW is going to be, I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
Yeah, there's about 3 guys that are coming to my head right now that I think are probably leading the running for that.
In 6th, from Sussex Tech.
There's been some wild ones.
In 5th.
So we're going to, looks like they're awarding 157 because I see Nerdy and Ahmad Stats atop the podium.
Brandon West. In 3rd, from Sussex Central.
So it's time for 190 pounds.
In 2nd, from Carl.
Your number 1 seed, Jordan Curry of Milford. He's 30-12, and he's a senior. And he's up against the number 2 seed, Tegan Grotowski. He's 22-12, sophomore out of Smyrna. So 3 bouts left. We got a good one coming up at 285, returning rematch of last year.
And now for your top 6 at 165. In 6th, from Lake Forest, Sean Farrell. In 5th, from Poly.
Again, I want to thank our sponsors, Ocean View Plumbing, as well as Sodell Concepts. Sodell Concepts, I think he's up to like 14 restaurants now on the culinary coast of coastal Delaware.
Culinary coast.
Again, thank you, Ocean View Plumbing and Sodell Concepts being the sponsor of our finals tonight.
And your champion at 165 pounds from Smyrna, Jesse Dixon.
And Jesse Dixon finds his way to the top of the podium as your conference champion. So 11 weight classes completed. We're up to 190 pounds. Jordan Curry in the white with the burgundy and gold trim for Milford. And Tegan Grotowski in the red and white and gray of the Smyrna Eagles.
Yeah, I've been able to watch both of these guys over the years. And Grotowski's built like a 25-year-old. Said that when we did the CR and Smyrna match earlier in the year. Curry has a dad who was a state champion in Milford as well, and I can tell you this: if he pulls you up from your double leg, you better be looking for that lat drop because he can throw it from anywhere.
A little bit of lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Back to our sponsors, the Ocean View Plumbing. That's Eric Ankrum. His son wrestled here at Sussex Central.
Ah, okay. I was wondering who that was.
Yeah, was a state champ as a freshman, finalist as a senior.
Yeah. Both guys.
Oh, in deep on the doubles, Grotowski.
Both guys, strong wrestling ties to the community, and I just love companies that give back to wrestling locally. You know,
Sodell Concepts, a major sponsor of Delaware Live and 302 Sports, and Scott was a New Jersey state champ.
Yep. And the Ankrum family has just always been a big supporter of Delaware wrestling. So thank you to those guys for giving back to the Sussex County, Kent County, Newcastle County Delaware wrestling scene.
No score with 1:15 to go here in the first period. But Grotowski, he got deep on a double, just has to finish.
We've talked about this all night. You never know how many of these opportunities you'll get, and there's a and there we go.
There's a stall call.
You never know if you'll get that opportunity again. You got to capitalize on it when you can.
Curry hoping to be at the top of the podium again next week, but he's going to have a tough road to hoe against a young man by the name of Hayden Money, the #1 wrestler in the state from DMA.
Hayden Money, another guy with a state champion father, two-time state champion from Dover.
So if he can win today, he'll add to the father-son combos.
Right.
Also, wasn't he a JUCO champ?
He was a JUCO champ, and then he went on to wrestle at Clarion.
And now we're going to get a stall call on Curry. Right. So each wrestler has a stall call in the first period. 43 to go. First period, no score, but we do have 2 stall calls as we get to the edge again.
Yeah, both guys are pushing a little bit here, and you get a call, and then Paul Hurt's doing a good job of recognizing that what we're doing here. Both kind of done the same thing. Stay in that middle and score some points.
Grotowski's got to get his back to the center of the mat.
Yeah. There we go. That's a nice
double leg. They go out of bounds. No score. 14 seconds on the restart.
We would spend a lot of time in practice call that circle shoot, where you circle your back to the center and shoot the guy off, and in the referee's brain, all of a sudden, it's not you backing up. You're the one making the attempt to get your back to the center and initiating action off the mat.
Time winds down here in the first period, and no score, and Grotowski getting a deep shot late.
Yeah, that's a couple. He's been in on some leg attacks here. I think that's probably his ticket. I think he has to know that he doesn't want to be chest to chest with Curry.
Grotowski takes the bottom position. No score here at 190. We have crowned 11 conference champions. 3 matches left. We'll see another Milford Buccaneer coming up at 2:15. Curry, the first of the Bucks in the finals tonight.
Nice standing switch. We got locked hands there. Yep, there we go.
On the edge.
He's got to be able to secure both legs.
So Curry gets a point for the locked hands.
And we get an escape.
So 2-1 on the free release. I've always seen Grotowski. I'm surprised he's going to his feet. I've always thought him as more of a mat wrestler.
Well, I mean, he's had success several times getting to those legs. It's just got to be a matter of finishing them now.
Oh, slide by. 2 for Grotowski. Goes up 4-0.
Yeah.
4-1.
But Curry's been pushing a lot, getting that, trying to get that stall call again. And Grotowski really did a nice job of exposing that, and then re-entered the wrestling space.
Right, he circled around and shrugged him at the same time.
Paul Hurts looking for locked hands here, making sure we don't lock our hands.
Should be 4-2, right? We had a locked hands and an escape.
Technical violation for fleeing the mat.
So we got 5-0 on the scoreboard. I think it's 5-2. So we had the locked hands on Grotowski.
No, the locked hands was on Curry.
Oh, it was on Curry, okay.
Yeah. The score's right here, 5-0.
So 5-0 lead for Keegan Grotowski. 39 seconds to go here in the second period. Granby roll.
Milford.
And these are the positions I see are Grotowski's strengths. You know, getting under the leg and getting reversals.
But every Milford wrestler knows how to Granby, they know how to funk, they know how to Peterson, they know how to lat drop. And this is a problem for Grotowski.
Peterson. And nothing yet. And reversal for Curry. It's 5-2.
In short time.
Gonna get a potentially dangerous. 8 seconds to go. Favoring that shoulder, but I think this is with 8 seconds, you don't take an injury time out here. You ride this out. And no score at the end. 5-2 is the lead for Grotowski. Curry is going to take the bottom position.
I said this in 2 matches so far. I have a feeling this match is not going to end 5-2.
No. And that's a second caution, correct?
Knee can't be in front of his knee. You gotta line up with your down knee behind that line. Plain.
And we're underway. Granby roll by. Almost Granby rolled into a cradle.
Yeah.
And Grotowski works his way back on top. Minute 45 to go. He leads 5-2 here at 190 pounds.
He's got an arm bar in there.
Yeah,
he's got jump side, and he can tilt there.
And you're going to get a stall call on bottom. Makes it 6-2.
Comes that
and that's not where Grotowski wants to be. Escape for Curry. 6-3 is the score. Minute 1 left on the clock. And I think Grotowski's going to go on injury time. Aaron Harris does not want him to. The rule here, and the reason Aaron Harris doesn't want him to take it, folks, is if he gets another injury, Curry would have choice. A third injury, the match is over. So, trying to tell them to fight through whatever it is. They're on their feet, 6-3 with a minute to go.
And this is where Curry's going to start trying to go chest to chest. He's going to look for those lat drops.
Out of bounds,
and this
53.
This is going to get interesting because Grotowski knows he can't go back. He has to push back in, and that's exactly what Curry wants.
Right.
So he's got to try to hope to hit that slide by like he did earlier in the first.
Oh, it drops down to a double.
Here comes the Funk.
39 to go. Funk attempt by Curry. Got to get some height.
But he needs more than two. He needs a takedown and then a one.
And we're going to get a stalemate with 27 seconds. Aaron Harris imploring Teagan to get back to the center now. And he gets called for stalling.
And now a takedown ties it.
Approaching 20 seconds to go here in the match. And out of bounds, got another stall.
He's got to get to the middle. He's got to get there now.
6-5 is the score.
He's got to get there now. That score's right. He's got to get there now. If he takes an injury time, Curry gets choice.
Right.
The
16
next one
to go.
is 2 points, Benny.
Right.
The next stall is 2 points.
Double leg by Curry. And gets the takedown with under 10 to go.
Watch the locked hands
Yeah,
here.
so I'm like, and that's it.
No,
we're going to get a stalemate. I think the towel tapper said 5, and he thought he said time. 7-6, 4 seconds to go. And that's it. 7-6 victory for Jordan Curry.
Wow. A lot of
He is
points.
a Henlopen Conference champion at 190 pounds.
Now wrestling at 250.
That's a tough way to lose that match, but
The junior with a season record of 37-4. He's the governor.
Now we move to 215 pounds.
2023.
Your defending conference champion from Cape Henlopen, Patrick Donahue. He's 37-3. He's a sophomore. And he's up against Greg Lockett of Milford, 31-4. Also a sophomore. This is the second meeting between these two.
He's a sophomore with a season record of 30.
Donahue handled his business the first time, but I tell you what, Lockett, he's just like Curry. You get above the waist, you could be in some trouble.
He's going to send you.
State conference's last season. From
Had the pleasure of coaching Lockett as well as a young man up through middle school. Another quiet kid, humble kid. And we're underway at 2:15.
Nice
Shot
high
in by
crotch.
Donahue.
Got to get up and get switched to that double. Wow, what a great, lots of power there. And for Lockett to not give up that
Nice,
takedown,
stingy too.
That's insane.
They look at middleweight.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. Minute 32 on the restart. Only 7 o'clock. Be able to go and get dinner tonight, Dan.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hit a Sodell restaurant.
There you go. Folks that are coming down to the state tournament next weekend, there's a plenty of them. Go ahead and check out Sodell Concepts website, and you can see the 14 plus restaurants that they have available around the beach for you to eat next week during the breaks in the wrestling tournament.
Yeah, and if you need, if your rental unit.
If you're broken pipe, you can call Ocean View Plumbing.
That's exactly right. Look at this high crotch
Big
attempt again. He's straight to
takedown.
his back. I mean, I'm really impressed with him.
This weight class capped off up top by Frankie Miller. Frank Miller, the Beast of the East champion from Slasianum. Four to 0 lead. Donahue getting a little sloppy there. You got to be careful.
It's not often that you see a 215-pounder shoot high crotches with the knee down on the mat and be able to score with it as effectively as he has so far.
I don't know if Lockett has wrestled Miller. I do know that Donahue did at state duels.
was that outcome, Benny?
Miller pinned him.
And obviously not saying that somebody can't be beat, but that is one of the weight classes.
That's a message to send late in the season.
Yeah, that's one of the weight classes there. There's a clear number one right now. Again, anything can happen, but there's a clear number one in that weight class.
And he struggled with injuries through his career.
He has, yep.
I think his sophomore or freshman year, he had the
knee injury
in the state tournament.
I need the top 6 at 175 and 190.
On our feet, 4-0 lead for Donahue. He's in the black for Cape Henlopen. Lockett in the maroon for the Bucks of Milford High School. Both these guys just sophomores.
Yeah, that's if you're Coach Parsley or Coach Mattioni, to be able to have younger guys at the heavier weight classes is
and
really,
having success.
Yeah, having success. I mean, you get young guys at the 106 and the 113s and the 120s, and they grow. But to be able to have those guys at that place is special.
Lockett was he was the short gain guy from Milford, the fullback. Take down by Donahue.
I keep saying it, these leg attacks with Donahue is just really sharp.
We did a few Milford games this year, and when it was second and short and third and short, number 25 came in and took the ball up the middle.
Ran it straight down.
Donahue, a one-sport athlete, used to play baseball. Grandfather lives in the neighborhood. Six-0 lead for Patrick Donahue. Lockett looked to come behind, but Donahue pulls him right back down the mat with under a minute to go. Again, folks, you're watching Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports. Joining forces with the Sussex Central Athletics live stream crew and Jeff Stevenson. A lot of young kids running around here, operating cameras, setting up sound.
Yeah, the central staff always does a great job with their events. Their hospitality rooms are great. Their matches, their setup.
Oh,
great.
the home cooking this weekend. It was outstanding.
They know how to run a top-notch event.
Got to see some people I haven't seen in a while. I grew up here.
Here's a Peterson opportunity again, and you know, there's some teams that just have some things that they do consistently through the rosters, and Milford's one of those teams where every kid can Granby, every kid can Peterson, every kid can Funk, and every kid can lat drop, and when you wrestle them, you need to be ready for those things. And there's always a week or two before where you spend some time talking about the Peterson position and what's going to happen when they Granby, and every Milford wrestler has shown that this weekend.
Lockett puts a point on the board. It's 6-1 with his escape. Now looking cradle.
Donahue's going to go switch.
You got to be careful pulling down your own hip.
And he's got a deep half. If he can clear his legs and get chest to chest.
Donahue with the reversal now, looking to take him to his back.
That's 3 times Lockett's been on his back, and
Donahue's not getting an anchor on the other side. He's running that power half, and he's no anchor on the far side. Minute 30 to go in the match at 215 pounds.
Crowd's cleared out just a little bit here for the big guys.
It's getting late. They're leaving too soon because this next match went into overtime last year.
Yeah.
2 more class acts, and Chichi Yuli and Joseph Boehner. Joseph Boehner, we're seeing both these guys are all-state linemen for their respective schools in football. And we're going to get a stalling call on bottom. Granby rolls, comes out, throws him to his back. Donahue able to escape danger. It's now 10-3. Gives him a reversal on that.
Every Milford wrestler can always keep themselves in match with those pancake type, flatten you type positions, and they the Don practices those in,
right.
in the room on a regular basis, and his wrestlers always respond. And Donahue was able to get out of that one, but some wrestlers don't. And
Lockett finishes on top, but Donahue will finish on top of the podium. He is your 2024 Henlopen Conference champion, back-to-back for Patrick Donahue.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to tell you that kid's going to be a state champ. Maybe if not this year, he'll be a state champion.
Right.
He is very sound in what he does. His positional awareness is top-notch, and I think he does a fantastic job.
And here come the big men. Rematch of last year's conference championship. Your number 1 seed, the defending conference champ, Joseph Baynard. He's 33-1. He's a sophomore. He's up against Chi-Chi Yulee, the number 2 seed, 20-5. Senior Chi-Chi missed a lot of this season. He had appendix removed and missed a ton of the season. And now he's back in the conference championship again.
Chi-Chi is a massive, massive young man in height, size. Benny, remind me of the years. Baynard's only a sophomore, correct?
Correct. Won the
Chi-Chi
conference as a freshman.
is he
Chi-Chi is senior.
Oh, senior. Okay.
I think Chi-Chi's one of those guys that just pulled out of the hallway.
Yeah, I would have loved to have had an opportunity to pull a student athlete out of the hallway like that.
Right.
I think every coach of the school, every coach in that program is probably trying to, whether it was basketball or football, wrestling.
From Sussex Central, Ivan Flores.
So we have some more
From Delmar, Bryce.
awards being presented.
In second, from Smyrna, Tegan Grotowski.
Folks, we also brought you tonight the Blue Hen Conference Championship with Nick Alessandrini and Jack Holloway doing color commentary up at William Penn High School for the Blue Hen Conference Championships. Last match of the night, folks. Getting ready for the big guys.
A sophomore with a season record of 33-1.
Last match of the night. We've had a good night of wrestling here
Yeah.
so far.
Lots of excitement.
In the conference
Let's
final.
end it with a bang.
From Laurel, Joseph Baynard. He's a senior with a season record of 20-5. He took
Chi-Chi wants to shake hands to get it on. You can see he's reached several times. He says, let's get this thing on.
Let's go.
Here we go. 285, final match of the night. Assistant coach Kurt Howe has given Chi-Chi a lot of Recco experience.
Yeah. You're not going to find too many more credentialed assistant coaches than the 4-time state champion and 108-0 Kurt Howe, multiple-time head coach, multiple-time state
Smyrna, Indian
championship
River.
coach.
Wrestled at Newark High School.
And then Clemson.
Yeah.
Prior to them dropping their program.
Yeah, I tease them every once in a while. We hope we're at Clemson
Whoa.
now. Oh, big headlock. Gets the takedown.
In heavyweight matches, these are hard to come back from.
That's right.
He's got to make sure he keeps the lock below that elbow. Don't let that lock come above the elbow. He doesn't even have it locked yet.
No.
And there's a lot of time with the center towards the back.
Right on the knight emblem. Or logo.
If Chi-Chi can get out of this, I will forever respect that young man.
He's already been there a long time. Baynard needs to readjust. Get that chest,
I mean, this is a tight position, and Chi-Chi's doing a fantastic job of fighting it off.
lifts the head. There's a fall. Joseph Baynard, a 2-time Henlopen Conference champ.
That's a great ending to a heavyweight match. A first period fall with the headlock that went into overtime last year.
So Joseph Baynard gives Laurel 2 champions here tonight for the Southern Division. Dan, final thoughts of what we saw here tonight.
Yeah, Benny, we had some barn burners. A couple things. I love the effort. I love the energy. I love the sportsmanship. I love the way that these kids competed. And I'm telling you, I think we're going to see a few more of these next week in the state championship. The finals we saw tonight could very well be the finals next week, and I can't wait.
Yeah, we didn't have a bad finals match tonight, so great. And again, great sportsmanship. Great, just a way to go out to end your conference season with 14 big battles. And I think, Jeff, are we going to wrap it up from here? Okay, that's a wrap. For Jeff Stevenson and the SC crew, for Dan Rigby, I'm Benny Mitchell. Folks, have a safe weekend, and you'll hear from us next weekend from the Delaware State Championships at Cape Henlopen. Have a good night.
In second.